Have you ever felt the sharp sting of realizing he moved on, as if you were just a forgotten chapter? As if everything you gave, everything you shared, could be erased like it meant nothing. It cuts deeper than any goodbye. But listen closely. When you erase him from your life, truly and completely, something powerful happens. A man starts to feel what he once ignored. He starts to crave what he once took for granted, because nothing haunts a man more than the silence of a woman he thought would always be there. There's a saying, the loudest cry is the one made without a sound. And today, it's your silence, your absence, your erasure that will speak louder than anything you could ever say. Not a single word, not a tear, just the powerful echo of your disappearance from his life. When you stop reaching out, stop reacting, stop being available, he will feel the cold, the emptiness, the regret. And by the time he tries to return, you will already be living a life so beautiful, so full, that he'll realize the door he once slammed shut can never be opened again. Think of a garden, a place full of light, color, and life. If he walks away from it thinking he'll find better, let him. Because gardens do not beg the lost traveler to return. Gardens bloom for the ones wise enough to stay. You are that garden, queens. You are not something a man can trample over and expect to find untouched. The moment you choose to erase him, the moment you choose yourself, is the moment your beauty multiplies beyond his reach. Dear beautiful soul, right now, it may hurt. It may feel unfair. It may seem like he won. But remember, queens are not made in comfort. Queens are made in moments like these, when the world tries to break them, and instead, they rise. You were never made to chase after love. You were made to reign over your own heart, your own peace, your own life. Lovely woman, your story doesn't end with his absence. It begins. When you walk forward without looking back, when you choose your healing over his attention, you erase him not out of hate, but out of honor, for yourself. And trust me, queen, when he realizes he can no longer reach you, the regret will not knock. It will crash through his soul. If this message touched something deep inside you, if it reminded you of the power you still carry, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard, pouring our hearts into creating content that doesn't just speak to your pain, but awakens your strength. Because, queens, you were never meant to be forgotten. You were always meant to reign. Number 1. When you stop being his comfort zone, he will start searching for the warmth he once ignored and find only cold walls. There's a moment he never expects. The moment you stop being his comfort zone, the moment he reaches for the warmth he once took for granted and feels only cold walls. Right now, he may believe you will always be there. He may believe that no matter how far he strays, your heart will stay open, waiting, hoping. But the truth is, queens, love is not a waiting room. You are not a soft place for a careless man to fall. Once you erase him from your life, once you take back your peace, he will realize he lost something he cannot replace. There's a quote that says, "The sun doesn't mourn those who run from its light. It just keeps rising." And so will you, when you no longer pick up the phone, when you no longer answer the late-night texts. When your name becomes just a memory he cannot touch, he will start searching for the warmth he dismissed and find nothing but coldness. Regret doesn't knock gently. It crashes through the heart, and soon it will tear through his illusions, reminding him of the woman he thought he could replace. Think of a fire that burns bright in the night. If he turns his back on it, believing he can find the same warmth elsewhere, let him walk. Because once a fire dies from neglect, it doesn't relight for the one who abandoned it. You, dear woman, are that fire. You are not here to keep burning for a man who didn't see your light. You are here to set your own world ablaze, with or without him. Majestic woman, the pain you feel today is not your ending. It's the ignition of your unstoppable rise. It's the beginning of a life where you no longer hand your warmth to a man who does not know how to hold it. He walked away, believing you would wait. Instead, you rise, rebuild, and reign higher than he ever dreamed possible. And when he looks back, he will find a door closed forever, a fire no longer burning for him, a woman he can never reach again. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. I erase what no longer honors me. If these words lit even a small fire inside you, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here, working hard every day to create life-changing lessons that remind you, you were never meant to be a shelter for his comfort. You were always meant to be a kingdom of your own. Number 2. He thought you were replaceable until your silence became the loudest thing in his empty world. There's a bitter truth that some men learn too late. Silence can roar louder than any cry. He thought you were replaceable. He believed he could turn his back, walk away, and find another woman to fill the space you once held in his life. He mistook your patience for weakness. He mistook your loyalty for something ordinary. But queens, hear this clearly. What he took for granted will soon become the emptiest echo in his world. There's a quote that says, "The absence of something rare is louder than the noise of 1,000 distractions." And right now, he fills his days with noise, new faces, shallow conversations, empty moments. But when the crowd fades, when the distractions fall silent, it will hit him, the deafening absence of you, the way you listened, the way you cared, the way you loved without conditions. He will search for it again, thinking it can be replaced. But the silence you left behind will answer him louder than any voice ever could. You are gone. Picture a house built strong and full of life. When it stands, no one notices the quiet strength holding it together, but tear it down, and suddenly the emptiness screams. That is what he will feel. The life, the love, the soul you brought to his world, gone. And no matter how many new hands he holds, no matter how many fake smiles he sees, the silence will echo your name. Beautiful woman, you are not replaceable. You are not a chapter he can close and rewrite. You are the whole story he didn't know how to read. And now, as you live in your light, as you rise higher in your own power, he will sit with the deafening truth that you were never the one he could just move on from. You were the rarest thing he will never find again. Queens, embrace this truth. You are the silence that haunts him, the presence that cannot be duplicated. You don't have to chase, you don't have to explain. You simply have to rise and let the void of your absence teach him what your words never could. Write this in the comments and claim it. My silence says everything he refused to hear. We are working hard every day to create lessons that turn heartbreak into the loudest triumphs. Because you are not just unforgettable, you are unstoppable. Number 3. Erase him like he never existed, and watch how the ghost of your absence haunts every room he walks into. There's a silence heavier than any argument. It's the silence that comes when you erase him so completely, he starts to feel like he's chasing a ghost he can never catch. When you no longer respond, no longer show up, no longer leave any part of yourself lingering behind, that's when he will feel it. Not immediately. No, at first he will believe he made the right choice. He will believe the space you once filled will be easy to forget. But Queen's absence has a way of becoming a ghost that haunts every corner of his life. There's a quote that says, "Some doors close so silently he won't even hear it until it echoes in his loneliness." And that's exactly what happens when you choose to erase him, not with anger, not with revenge, but with the simple, unstoppable power of moving forward without him. Your absence will creep into the quiet moments, into the places you once made warm. It will sit at the table he once shared with you. It will whisper through the songs you once danced to. And when he reaches for you, there will be nothing left but memories that he can never touch again. Think of a house once filled with light and laughter. If the one who lived there stops tending it, stops loving it, that house grows cold, empty, abandoned. He thought you would stay. He thought your presence was permanent. But the woman who chooses herself leaves behind nothing he can reclaim. You, graceful woman, were not built to linger where you are not honored. You were built to rise, to erase, to become untouchable. Beautiful lady, hear me. You are not erasing him to hurt him. You are erasing him to heal you. The most powerful way to make him regret losing you is not with words. It's with your silence, your absence, your untouchable life. Let the ghost of what he lost haunt every room he walks into, while you build a life so rich, so radiant, that he becomes nothing more than a forgotten shadow in your story. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. I erase, I rise, I reign. We are working hard every day to bring you the truth, the lessons, and the unstoppable power you deserve. You were never meant to haunt the past. You were meant to build an empire. Number 4. The day you stop fighting for him is the day he starts fighting memories he can never outrun. Have you ever noticed how a man never truly feels your absence until you no longer fight to stay? Until the day you stop explaining yourself. Until the day you stop chasing love that should have been freely given. That day, Queens, is the day everything changes. When you let go, he doesn't just lose you. He starts a battle he can never win. A battle with the memories you left behind. Memories that will follow him into every silence, into every dark night, into every hollow place that no new love can fill. There's a truth most men realize too late. A woman's silence carries the weight of every word she ever spared him. And when you stop fighting for him, that silence will hit harder than any argument ever could. He expects you to stay. He expects you to keep trying. But when you finally stand tall and choose yourself, he will find himself haunted by the very love he once took for granted. No matter where he goes, no matter who he runs to, your absence will be the shadow he cannot escape. Imagine an ocean that once reached for the shore every day, offering its waves, offering its beauty. But one day, the ocean pulls back. The tide goes silent. The shore stands empty. And the man who stood there, certain that the water would always return, suddenly realizes he is alone, with nothing but the memory of what he lost. You, dear woman, are that ocean. You are not meant to drown yourself trying to stay in a heart that doesn't honor you. You are meant to pull your tides back, to reclaim your power, to rise higher than he can ever reach. Beautiful soul, this is not the end of your story. This is your moment of rebirth. The day you stop fighting for him is the day you start fighting for yourself, for your peace, your joy, your future. And once you choose yourself, queens, the battle inside his mind will begin. He will fight against the memories of your love, your loyalty, your light. But it will be a battle he can never win, because true love, once lost, can never be replaced, only mourned. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. I will no longer fight to be seen. If this message spoke to your heart, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard every day to create powerful lessons that remind you, you were never meant to fight for a seat at his table. You were born to build your own throne. Number 5. He mistook your patience for permanence. Now your erasure will be the wound no new love can heal. There's a cruel mistake he made without even knowing it. He mistook your patience for permanence. He thought you would always be there, no matter how many times he delayed, dismissed, or disregarded your love. He believed your heart was a home he could return to whenever he pleased. But he didn't realize that even the strongest patience has a breaking point. And once you erase him from your life, queens, that wound will be one no new love can ever heal. There's a truth that says, the bridges we burn in pride are the paths we later crawl across in regret. And that is exactly the path he will face. He thought you were unshakable in your loyalty. He believed that no matter how cold he became, you would keep standing there, holding the door open. But the moment you close that door, the moment you lock it with your silence and your self-respect, he will understand the depth of what he destroyed. He will try to find pieces of you in other women. He will search for your patience in rushed hands and shallow words. But nothing will ever feel like you. Nothing will ever heal the space where your love once lived. Picture a mighty oak tree standing through storms, waiting through seasons. It gives shade, strength, and shelter. But if it is cut down, it does not grow back in a day. It leaves behind a silence where once there was life. You were that tree. You weathered storms for him. You stayed rooted in love. And instead of honoring your patience, he treated it like an endless guarantee. Now, queens, you are no longer waiting. You are no longer offering shade to a man who never learned how to stay. Dear gracious soul, hear me. Your patience was never a weakness. It was a gift, and he lost it. Now he will wander through empty gardens, through cold spaces, through shallow waters, searching for the depth he once had without knowing how to find it again. And the worst part? No matter how far he searches, no matter how many arms he runs to, the wound of losing you will stay open. A wound no new love can ever stitch closed. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. My patience was a gift, not a guarantee. We are working hard every day to create lessons that awaken the unstoppable queen inside you, because you were never born to be a waiting place. You were born to be a destination. Number 6. Leave without a word, without a glance, and he will hear the sound of every moment he took for granted crashing in his mind. There is no sound louder than the silence of a woman who has finally walked away. No screaming, no pleading, no last message sent in the middle of the night. Just pure, cutting silence. Leave without a word, without a glance, and he will hear the crashing echoes of every moment he took for granted. At first, he will pretend not to notice. He will act like your absence is a small thing. But soon, queen, that silence will grow heavy. It will haunt him when he's laughing with others. It will creep into his mind when he lies awake at night. Because nothing strikes deeper than realizing the door you once kept open is now locked forever. There's a quote that says, "Sometimes silence is the strongest scream." And in your silence, he will finally hear all the words he refused to listen to before. He will remember the smiles he ignored, the loyalty he didn't deserve, the love he once received without asking. And now, all he will be left with are crashing memories he cannot hold, cannot fix, cannot relive. Imagine standing on the shore, watching a ship leave, believing it will always be there if he calls it back. But when he finally sends the signal, there is only endless water stretching before him. That ship, Queen, is you. And once you set sail toward your new destiny, no amount of regret can bring you back to the dock where he left you waiting. Beautiful woman, your silence is not weakness, it is strength in its purest form. Every moment you choose not to chase, not to explain, not to fight for what should have been yours willingly, becomes another stone building the empire he will never enter again. He thought you would always be available. He thought he could hurt you and still find you waiting. But now, he will hear the sound of his own mistakes every time he reaches for what is no longer there. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. My silence will echo louder than his words. We are here, creating lessons that awaken the fire inside you. Because you were never meant to beg for love, Queen. You were meant to reign in it. Number 7. When you erase him from your life, you don't just walk away. You leave a silence so heavy, he carries it like chains he can never break. There's a silence more powerful than any scream, a silence that wraps itself around the heart like a chain. When you erase him from your life, you don't just walk away. You leave behind a silence so heavy, so unmovable, that he feels it with every breath he takes. Right now, he may think he has won. He may believe that he can forget you just as easily as he walked away. But he doesn't know yet. The true weight of a woman's absence is a burden no man can ever escape. There's a powerful saying, the heaviest chains are the ones we forge with our own choices. And, Queens, that is exactly what he has done. He chose to walk away. He chose to gamble with your love. But now, every quiet moment, every lonely night, every small disappointment he faces will pull at those invisible chains. He will not hear your voice, but he will hear the silence you left behind. He will not see your face, but he will feel the hollow space where your love once lived. Imagine a grand cathedral, once filled with music, light, and life, now silent, abandoned, echoing with memories that will never return. That is what his heart will become. A vast, empty place, haunted by the sound of everything he once had and lost. And no matter how far he runs, no matter who he tries to replace you with, he will carry the silence like an anchor tied around his soul. Beautiful woman, this moment you are in right now is not weakness. It is power. It is the proof that your absence speaks louder than your presence ever could. You are not just walking away. You are building a kingdom where only the worthy can enter. A place where you no longer beg to be seen, heard, or valued. A place where you reign, not wait. Queens, claim this truth today. My silence will echo louder than my words. Write it proudly in the comments and let the world know you are done explaining, done proving, done chasing. If this message touched your heart, if it reminded you of your power, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard every single day to bring you the truth that sets you free, because you were never meant to carry chains. You were meant to rule, unshaken and untouchable.